Hello, everybody. My name is Karen Scott. This is Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock, and welcome to Karen's Stamp Pat. So, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Edmonton, Alberta. So sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. I have been playing with this suite and just had to clear off some space so that I can work today and get a few supplies all together. So, this is a continuation of Tuesdays Live, and I was playing with the new suite in it's I want to say it's Fresh as a Daisy Suite and Cheerful Daisies bundle. So today I'm just using the bundle, and I'm going to show you a couple of cards, and hopefully you get inspired to pick up this the suite, because the designer series paper that I worked with on Tuesday is just fabulous. So anyway, I won't sit and chitty chat too much longer. I have somebody coming over to pick up some cards that they're purchasing for Mother's Day. So I made a bunch of Mother's Day cards, and somebody was looking for some. So anyway, yeah. And so I put a Mother's Day. I made another card today, and so I'll give her that. I've sent her pictures, and she's already picked out 3 of them. But I'll give her another option too. So anyway, without further ado, I will turn my camera down, and we will get working on the project. So let me do this. There we go. Move my computer out of the way. I've got stuff all over my workspace, so I apologize. If you are, if you're new and you haven't been to Karen's Stamp Pad before, give me a shout. Let me know where you're from, and let me just start with showing you a couple of the projects that we're going to do today. So I am doing the using the blending brushes and the ink daubers like I did on Tuesday. So this one I'm going to do, and I didn't grab some ribbon, so I'm going to have to scoot over to the back of my room and grab some. But this, I thought, with the blue, this is the new boho blue. It was pretty. It just stood out. I like it. So there's that one, and then we're going to pull in our shimmery white embossing paste and one of our and I typed it in, so I know it. I just can't think of the name of it. These things are little mats and stuff, and we're going to put some paste on it. And this is the second card we're going to do. So our background is going to be the shimmery white, using the brick thing. Technical word, thing. It's embossing paste, so it's a little embossing sheet. So it will come to me. Hi, Denise. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. And so that's going to be the first card we're working on. So let me just put this aside, and I decided to do this. Now, I've shown you this before in one of my videos. Hello, Bilkis. Hi, mask. Thank you. I'm drawing you out. You got to help me. So yes, the masks. So I did this before using the Pansy Patch dies, and I liked the effect. And so I was looking for another card to make for the lady who's coming over, just to give her a choice, because one of them is the pansies that she's that she's buying, and this was the technique. So she liked that. So I thought, well, I'll do that with this stamp set. So I'm going to do it with the fresh freesia though. We'll get away from the new in colors that I've been working with. So I've gone ahead and cut out my card base. So my card base is your standard card base, right? It is 8.5 by 11, cut at 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So we've got that. And I'm using the new 3D. I've got a piece. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And it is, 1 minute. I haven't learned all the names of everything yet. The exposed brick 3D embossing folder. So I like that. I like that. It's and I've embossed this piece, and it is going to layer on top of there. So we can actually go ahead and do that, so I don't get too far ahead of myself and then have to backtrack. So let's just adhere that there, and then 1/4 inch smaller, so a 5 by 3.75 piece of fresh freesia, and then 1/4 inch smaller for just a basic white piece, which we're going to use the blending brushes on. So let's adhere this. So I might have to pull out a few of my supplies because I don't, I've been racing around all day, and I have only got home a couple of hours ago. I went and got my hair done and had some appointments, and then I had to come home and take care of dogs. So I didn't have much time to prep. So I might have to pull out some of my stuff, and you'll have to watch me die cut and all that fun stuff, right? So let's bring in just a sheet of grid paper to protect my surface, and my blending brush. And let's just start with the base. I need to re-ink this so it's not very dark. I just didn't have time to look for my refill amongst all the other colors. So how are you today, Bilkis? Denise, how about you? We had quite the conversation the other day. Okay, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to pull in our mask. Thank you, Bilkis. And I was just using it, so you'll see some. Now when I line it up, you'll see some shimmer still on it because I haven't. It's going to harden on there because I haven't washed it yet. So I like the shimmery white. Just gives it a nice, I don't know, something. I like it better than just the white. I think the white I'd probably use just for maybe, making Christmas snow or something. Ooh, all is good. You have the day off. That's nice. Awesome. Yeah, it's been pretty nice outside too. So hopefully you got a chance to get out and play in the yard or enjoy the sunshine anyway, because did I hear thunder a little while ago? And okay, so we're going to do that. What I was going to say is make sure you line this up straight, because I didn't like the look when I didn't pay much attention and it was crooked. It didn't look much like a, a fireplace or any of that kind of thing, a brick building on a tilt. And this little spatula, Stampin' Up! Sells those too, that goes with your embossing paste. It doesn't come with it, but they sell it so that you can use it with. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it aside because it needs a chance to dry. And I went ahead and I already did one. So it is, yes, lots of thunder. I know. Lots of thunder. You've got lots of rain. Yeah, we're praying for rain, Denise. The forest fires in Alberta right now are terrible. So we're hoping for rain, but then of course there's thunder and lightning, and the lightning's not not helping. I don't imagine. Okay, so now we've got a dry piece. I'm going to take that, and it's just a matter of putting it all together now. So, I mean, this card, once you do all of the, what did I do with them? Remember on Tuesday, I had suggested just going ahead and die cutting all of your pieces. So today I'm not cutting them apart. I am, and I've got two choices. Ooh, for my, maybe I'll go with the soft seafoam and old olive for my greenery. And I think because the fresh freesia is a little softer in color, maybe the soft seafoam greenery will go good with it. And all my pieces. And so I'm going to use my sponge dauber again. But if you spend all of your time just die cutting all of the pieces, then it doesn't take long to put everything together. So this one, here we go. Put that out of the way. And I don't think I have a, I'll grab a new one, a new sponge dauber. I had to order more because I've got one for each of the colors now. I'm trying to keep track and put, so I will do that right now while I'm talking about it. So taking off the bottom, there's extra labels, of course. There's one blank, and then there's a few other ones. But my blending brushes and my daubers, then I can keep them. Doesn't show up so well on the on the black. You kind of gotta guess. But anyway, so I'll put that on there, and let's go ahead and ink this up. Might take some. It's going to be very soft. And I'm just going to do the edges. You could do the whole thing if you wanted. So yeah, pretty light, but that's okay. Nice and soft. So does anybody have plans for the weekend for Mother's Day, spending Mother's Day with your mom, or your kids spending with you? I haven't planned anything yet, but I'm pretty sure I should invite my daughter over, and her hubby's away at work for, I don't know, a couple months anyway, so she's going to be alone, and she can spend the afternoon with her kids. Maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll go out for dinner. She can come over and spend the afternoon with her kids, and hubby and I'll take off and go out. Ooh, you going indoor skydiving? have you done it before, or is this your first go around? When I was in Calgary last year, we went and the kids and I were going to give it a try. Well, my husband, he was in a meeting, and we were going to give it a try, but it was for 4 of us to do it. It was pretty expensive. And the wait time was a little long, so we didn't. But I want to do that. I really want to do it. This is your first time. Well, next week you'll have to on Tuesday you'll have to let me know how you liked it. So I think I'd rather do the indoor skydiving. I always wanted to go skydiving from the time that I was little. And then, of course, you know how you watch movies and you see you see something and then it scares you for life? Like, I watched Jaws in the Deep. Now I'm afraid to swim in the ocean, you know? So, and as stupid as this is, I used to watch The Bionic Woman, you know, the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. And she was in a parachute accident. So I never wanted to parachute after that. But when I saw the indoor skydiving, I thought, yes, that it was not so far to fall, is it? If something goes wrong. So yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, have a good time. Okay, so we've got that together now. Now, the one tip that I do have is if you're using this embossing paste, the liquid glue and your tape runner and your dimensionals will not work on it. So the only thing that I found that sticks that to the embossing paste is my glue dots. So bring in my box of glue dots and put them on everything. So of course it's not going to be popped up. If you want it popped up, you could pop up your white layer, I guess. Oh. I hear footsteps upstairs. Yeah. That's can be scary, some of these things, you know. You get you start hearing about horror stories. So my girlfriend, on her 30th birthday, a bunch of us girlfriends pitched in and bought her a skydiving experience. So she went, and but she jumped with the guy, with the instructor or whatever. So she had the time of her life. She loved it. And then for her 40th, she went and she did bungee jumping. Ooh. That one, you'd have to push me over the edge. Well, you'd have to push me out of the airplane too to get me to skydive. So I don't know. I just all right. So again, I'm going to put glue dots on the back. And wants to stick to my take your pick tool. Let's see. Nice. Yeah. My doggies are being good. They're good. Good. That lump is no longer there in Gracie's belly, so maybe it was just the way she was laying. It felt like a bump, but she seems to be okay. So still crazy. She keeps bringing me her ball, and and she wants to play. Okay, now, did I cut one? I didn't. So I am going to, I've pre-cut some of the the dies for the sentiment. So I've got those, and I'm going to do one in the fresh freesia and just offset it in the back, I think. But I'm going to bring in my Highland Heather just because, like I said, my fresh freesia needs inked up. And my sentiment, I'm going to make another Mother's Day because I can pull that off and I can switch it up if these don't go for Mother's Day. But for now, I'm going to there. And on this one, I put some of the white ribbon. It has retired, but I stocked up before they sold it because it does kind of makes it a little more feminine looking. And put some glue dots on this and put the back. And then that's, don't forget to do the inside of your cards. Bring in your stamp set and stamp something from it. I've just been using the dies. So it's just, and it comes off really easy. I don't, I'm going to, there, put it that way. I like that better. So you have a lot of bling in the background. If you wanted to bring some more in, you can put your jewels on and spice it up a little bit. Hello, Margaret Ann. Yeah, better late than never. And yeah, hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me, ladies. So yeah, I will grab some ribbon. Let me clean my stamp. And I said on Tuesday, I was, I feel bad because here I said I'm playing with this suite and I haven't done any stamping. All I've been doing is using the die cuts. So really, I mean, you just use the die cuts and you can make, all kinds of cards with it. So this one I'm not going to do because it's pretty easy, but I just wanted to show you. I have I have used the stamps. I did. And so what I did was I had done this and I stamped it. So of course I just used the blending brush on the back, which I'm going to do my little splatter stamps, and I stamped them. And of course this is 2 steps. So, you do the outline. I did it in black, and then I used the boho blue to color in the or stamp in the colored in part. So I did that, and then I got the idea I would do it because I'm offering a class doing these projects. So the 2 that I did the other day, this one and one other simple one. But a lot of my ladies don't want to invest in other stamp sets. They buy the ones that they want. So for my classes, because I mail them out, if they don't have the stamp set, if we're not together, they can't use my products. So I did this card. So it was supposed to be this, but we're going to do this with the basically with the die cuts, and I'm going to just cut those out. So let me bring in my pieces. Ooh, I can show you some other ones too. So this is pretty easy for those of you who craft. It'd be more of the same stuff that we did. I was looking for only use the dies except for the happy birthday. Oh, for the pansy patch. Yeah, I love that set. Love that set. So this is the card that that the lady is buying, that I did with the pansy patch. So I did this in another video, and that's where I got the idea to make this, and using that. So I just did that in the 2 hours that I've been home since my appointment. So otherwise, I was going to show you pretty simple cards. So, changing everything up. I mean, here's one that I made just using the colored dyes instead of just using the sponge dauber and daubing the ends. So I used the pebble path to color the inside. So these are Gerber daisies, right? And I love the ones with the brown centers. And Bilkis, I got that daisy from you that time, that great big daisy, and it still sits in my living room. I put it in a vase, and I just love that thing. So because I love Gerber daisies. So and I thought this went with this retired designer series paper. So it's done in petal pink with the petal pink ribbon and the pebble path, but it just kind of gave it a country kitchen look. So you love that pansy card. I know. Well, get yourself some shimmery embossing paste and and do the background. Yeah, it's just using your sponge daubers. So, okay. Oh, seeing as I'm on a roll here and I'm chitty chatting, did this one. Now, this is, I don't know if this is like over the top, right? But I'm playing and it's like, whoa. I wanted to do a Z fold card. So anyway, I just, there's lots going on there. A little too much. And I brought in, this was from Harvest Meadow, I think it's, or the something Harvest dyes, and it just looked like a daisy looking up at the sky. So anyway, that's a little over the top, I think. All right. So all this card requires is, let's cut out some of the big daisies. And you could use the other ones for another card and just use the smaller daisies on that. And we're going to color them. I would have done the coloring ahead of time, but sorry, like I said, I ran out of time. And I don't like the leaves on that. I don't know. I think the leaves take away from the daisy itself. So there's 1, 2, 3. We need 3 centers. And I liked it in the blue, so I will do that in blue again. So bring in my boho blue. This boho blue is, you love that one that's over the top. That one's, I just kept adding stuff to it. What I was looking for was to make a planter box out of it. So when you opened it up, it looked like a planter box. But I think I need some what do you call it? The clear acetate or whatever, and glue that in and make some daisies stand up, I think. So instead, but I just kept gluing. And it'll just sit here because I'm not crazy about it. So it's not something I would give to somebody, right? It's like I wasn't. I really didn't. I do that. I'll make cards and I sit now. I'll use some, I'll give some away as gifts. The end of the school year is coming next month. So I've got to put together some for the for the teachers in my kids' lives, right? And I always do that as a thank you at the end of the year, and I give them cards at Christmas that they can use and give out to other people. So just little gift sets. And but I'll make cards and then I'll have them sitting here and I think, oh wow, this is all right, at the time. And then I go back and like, what was I thinking? I don't like that. So I don't know. Everybody's different in what they like. I like the cutesy ones and I love flower stamps. I'm running out of blue. Oops, got my blue pad. You do. When are you coming to Alberta? It'd be a long ways. I'm looking for people to stamp with. Oh man, I love stamping, and it just doesn't to get together as often as I'd like. With I think people would get tired of me. We've got a good group of ladies. Bilkis, actually, Denise Bilkis is one of the ladies that I stamp with, and she's lovely. And I've got a few friends that other friends, a different stamping group that I get together with. And get my daughter involved in all of this. I said, you got to know how to use all these products, because if something happens to me, you inherit it all. So you better learn how to use it. So I force her to come to all my classes, twist her rubber arm. I mean, she likes doing all the classes and getting birthday cards and sending them out. So now she's prepared for everybody. And if she doesn't have one, she'll come and she'll grab one of mine. And so it's nice. I enjoy stamping with her. But I'd like to get her to the point where she'll come up with some of her own ideas for... You never met a flower you didn't like. Uh-huh. Me too. I have to get my fill doing making these cards, because I'm not investing in flowers and putting them out in the yard this year. Denali's got to stop chewing on everything. No trees, no nothing. It's just going to be grass if that survives. So, and I can have flowers out in the front. So I think I mentioned the other day, I've got some hydrangeas. Yeah, we were talking about the bunny rabbits in our area. Well, they don't go after my hydrangeas. They went after they killed my first apple tree, and then Denali killed the second one. Oops. I'll line this up properly. Okay, so we've got 3 of them. And then what I did was I took a piece of vellum and I put that on, and then a piece of basic white, which I'm going to sponge. So it doesn't matter where I put the adhesive as long as it holds it down, because I've got the white over top of it. So let's put that down. Give me a second. I am going to, some porch pots. Well, I had I've got some half wine barrels, and I've got 4 of them. And sorry, I've got 4 of them. 2 of them were on the patio out back, And so this piece of vellum is 4 and 5 1/4. And then I'm going to go one size or a quarter of an inch smaller. So 5 by 5 by 3.75. Sorry. And I'm going to sponge that before I put my ribbon on. But I've got these half wine barrels, and I had some succulents in it, really nice, beautiful red flowers come out. But anyway, so we wheeled them in the house for the winter, and they survived, except for when Denali was chewing them and pulling pieces off. And then I had 2 of the half wine barrels up against the fence, and I had my Gerber daisies in those. So anyway, over the winter, he gets, there was nothing left for him to, they were dead by the time he come along. But he blue blending brush, I'll try and work while I talk. But he I guess there was a rabbit outside the fence. I watched it on the camera afterwards because he was gone when I went out to get him, and Gracie was standing there, and I found him down the path. And when I watched on the camera, and he was going back and forth on the fence, and so there must have been a rabbit on the other side. So he jumped up on one of the wine barrels because it still had the potting soil, like the dirt in it, and jumped over the fence. So I had to empty those. So now I got to get rid of those too. So, no, I don't know. I'll have to take them and put them out front, I think, in front of the garage or something. All right, so I'm blending my background. Now I've got my guys. I'm going to bring in, so this, I went and looked, we talked about the other day, from the Color and Contour, I've got the little splatter piece. So I was trying to think of all the stamp sets that we have in the current catalog, because a lot of the background stamps are now retired. And the only other one I found, so you could use this one as well if you wanted, was the Season of Sheep. And it has a little bit of a splatter background too. So, and that one's kind of cool. But we'll stick with this, and we're going to do sort of the tone on tone. And I'm just going to put a few on. I don't want to overdo it. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to line them up. And I want them sort of not totally on, taking up the whole thing, because I'm going to stamp something there. So I'm going to hold off on that until I know what I'm going to use the card for. I've already stamped Mother's Day on this one, so, and it's going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to glue those down using my liquid glue because I want them to lay flat. And then I'm going to cut the edges off. I don't know. I like the blue on this. I just like the way it turned out. And it would go a lot faster if you're, working on your own and not sitting and chitty-chatting like I do and telling you all kinds of stories. Oh, I don't know. Am I not on YouTube? I thought I did both destinations, but I was trying to hurry. So maybe not. Okay. I'll have to check it out. How come you can't find me on YouTube? I don't know. Usually it tells me that I'm going to be live, but I don't know. Denise, aren't you watching me? Are you? No, you're watching me on Facebook, it says there. Oh. Okay, so now you see where it's all, I could use the trimmer, but I'm just going to cut all these pieces off that are hanging over. There we go. There. And I've got glue everywhere. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to before I do that, I've got put your glue on the back and hold this in place. Pull it really tight. Because it will stretch. There we go. Cut that off. Now put some more glue down. And just adhere that. All right. And so then I just took another little piece. This is your little faux bow. And I just tied a knot in it. Get that under. There. And then pick the sentiment that you want. Decorate it with your in-color glue dots. There we go. Some dots. I'm gonna, I think I'm going to go with best wishes. It's nice and small. It fits in that area. Best wishes could be for a birthday, right? Best wishes. And then you can write on the inside, happy birthday, or best wishes, thinking about you. There we go. And put some glue dots on. And then you've got some easy cards to make using the Cheerful Daisies. And did you take pictures of your cards? Denise, your pansy cards? Because I'd love to see them. You could share them. And I'm just going to put a couple of gems. Oh, need more putty. I think I'm down to the last little bit. There we go. So how cute is that? And it really, if I didn't talk so much, we would have been done faster. But and while I was grabbing my blue, I grabbed some more of the white. And I'm just going to put a little bow on this card to finish it off. If I could get my fingers working. If you can figure out, yeah. I don't know if you can share on my Facebook page, or my group. That would be cool if you could. But you could always message them to me and I can share them. I've done that before. Okay, don't forget glue dots. What did I do with them? And then I'm going to trim it up and then we're done. We're done, except for the insides. Put that there. Good. So what do you think? There's our 2 cards for today. And I don't know. I kind of like the soft colors and then there was my, let's go with these ones, my other ones that from earlier. So that's it for me today. You've heard my whole life story. Yeah. Well, maybe not the whole thing yet, but we're going to get to know each other really good. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. Yes, you did share on my page. So, okay, awesome. Let me just turn this around. And there. Now I can say goodbye to you. You can actually see my smiling face. And I can wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Have a good weekend if you're spending it with some mothers or you are a mother, and I hope you get spoiled. And yeah, just enjoy. Hopefully it'll start to, it'll give a nice big downpour here like it is in where Denise is. And I mean, it was Maryland, wasn't it? And dampen some of these fires and then get some nice weather happening. So have a good weekend. I will see you back here Tuesday. I get to play this weekend and figure out what I'm going to do Tuesday. I will see you Tuesday at 4 o'clock. So bye for now. Thank you, Denise. You too. Thanks, Margaret Ann. Bye, ladies.